Hi everyone, it is Bree here from Madewell. Welcome to my page and welcome to the little recap on essential oils for anxiety. So it was an amazing class. It happened live today. Nicole Krantz from CrossFit K-Man and one of my dear friends in doTERRA wellness advocate and essential oils lover led us through a class on essential oils for anxiety. And it was just an amazing class because not did we just talk about here's the oil and how it can help with anxiety. We really talked about things such as the power of scent and the effect of emotions of smell on an aroma on our emotions and our mood, what actually happens, in the brain and the shifting that could happen, as well as defining what anxiety is, going to the source of what is our anxiety, the sources of our anxiety, and different things you could do to counteract that. Yes, with the oils, but in everyday life. And anxiety, stress, and stress management is something I talk a lot about with the different people that I, really help serve throughout in the different capacities, especially as a health coach, because often we try to look to nutrition or even exercise to help us reach certain health goals, but in reality, what we really need to be doing is managing our stress, because overall, when you're stressed out, your body just goes in this fight and flight mode. And your body responds to mental and physical stress the same way. So your immune system, everything kind of gets shut down and gets focused on helping you deal with that stress. So then when you're just stressed all the time, your digestive system's not working properly, you have too much cortisol in your body, your blood pressure is raising, and all these different things, you're holding on to weight, and so it can really harm you. And I would almost say most of the preventable diseases in today's society is because we're a little too stressed out. And so I did a blog post just on this week in the Getting the Body You Want Naturally series around rest and managing stress. It is one of the key things in the wellness pyramid that doTERRA has, but also something I truly believe in is in our wellness. And I talked about 7 different oils there, but what Nikki kind of even guided us through was we talked about specific oil blend and what these oils are good for. Because handy little tool to have, the emotions and essential oils, is each oil can elicit a certain emotion. Because based on the aroma thing we talked about earlier. And so it's not just the emotional aromatherapy oils that doTERRA or any other essential company may have. It's really all of the oils. Thanks for whoever joined. Feel free to say hello. You know what? I actually should share this video in one of my groups, but I'll get to that later. So let me go ahead and just give you a really brief recap. That way you can, for those who missed it, I'm going to start doing this more often because I just feel like it's such a handy tool because everyone's on Facebook, right? Because it's just the way to communicate and it's the way to get the message out there when you can't be there with someone. Sorry, I'm sharing this. All right. So, for those who don't know, I'll go briefly into what essential oils are and why we use them. So, essential oils are naturally reoccurring things that happen in nature. They're the volatile or aromatic compounds in plants. Now, they protect plants against the environmental threats and provide beneficial properties. And so they're really great for the plants, and therefore they're also really great for us. They're highly concentrated when they're distilled from a pure and potent source, and they can be used in many things. Healthcare, they have health beneficial properties, beauty treatment, food preparation, and so forth. Now, essential oils have been around for a while, and they've proven their worth over different years. And one of the prime ways that you can use essential oils is aromatically and topically, and really smell it and have it shift your emotions. So what happens with scent in your brain is, it's very complicated explanation, but really at the core of it, what happens is that you have something called your limbic system, which kind of dictates your emotions and your behavior. And when you smell something, it impacts your olfactory centers and your hypothalamus and your pituitary gland and all these different official things. And really, it can start to regulate certain hormones and regulate certain feelings and emotions. And, what you feel often and what you think often can dictate your behavior sometimes. So, and that gland, dictates to your body to do multiple things, such as, hunger, your thirst cycles, thyroid function, sleep cycles, and all those things happen with your hormone regulation. So aroma is capable of interacting directly with your hypothalamus, influencing neurochemistry and so forth. Hey, Glennis, good to see you. In other words, your brain is linked to scent. So what you smell can really help you dictate really help you manage your mood and manage your things. And everyone deals with anxiety. Let's just be real. Everyone deals with worry and anxiety. Now, there are things that you can't control and that you just have to experience. But you can choose how you respond to that stressor or respond to that anxiety. It's interesting. We asked someone in the class, what is your definition of anxiety? And someone said, depression. She's like, I once heard that depression was a worry about the past and anxiety was a worry about the future. And it's true. Most of our anxiety is because we're worrying about the future. There's just things happening. And, I'm guilty of it, right? I have a lot going on in my life that I'm like, I feel anxious. And I was just kind of sat back and said, you know what? I have these oils. I really need to be using these again personally, right? And so anxiety can be defined as the body's reaction to stressful, dangerous, or unfamiliar situations. It's the sense of uneasiness, distress, or dread you feel before a significant event, right? So anxiety is not always bad. You feel stressed out over a test or a job interview and so forth. But it's really when it becomes chronic and it takes over control that it can be really, it can wreak havoc on your body. Hey, hello, Catherine and Shanika. Great to have you here. And so dealing with anxiety, it's really important, as I kind of talked about, I just always talk about this, is getting to the root causes. What are those stressors in our life? Identifying those stressors. And then after you've identified those stressors, you can identify what cues you to feel that stress, so a trigger. And then you can say, okay, how do I typically respond to this? And what's a better way to respond? There's a lot of times people do things called affirmations where you're thinking something that makes you stressed out. Affirmation is speaking a truth over yourself, saying, no, I am capable. If you're thinking you're not capable of accomplishing something, I am capable. So very practical things. There's things like if you deal with severe anxiety too, counseling. Don't feel bad about counseling. We all have things we need to work through, and I feel like people who go see counselors are probably the most humble of us all because they realize that they have things to work through and they're getting the help they need. And just being very intentional about doing the things that bring you joy and relax you. And then we have things like essential oils. So we ended up making a blend, and so I'll talk about the different oils in this blend. The blend is called Out of Darkness, and it's a blend of hope. Here's mine right here. And it's filled with a bunch of different oils, and I'll briefly kind of tell you what those oils are. And we went through a whole experience where we smelled the oils as Nikki was reading out what the oils are good for, so you really got to feel them in. And so I do recommend taking any oil, if you have any of these oils, just smelling them and allowing yourself to be mindful and go to a restful state. A lot of times we have a lot of these tools that can help us, calm down, but we're too busy to even take the time, right? So I'll tell you a little bit about this blend. It's called Out of Darkness. It's used when you have completely lost hope and faith in a better life, especially when it feels like the world is against you. This blend will help you see the light at the end of the tunnel and make you give a deep sense of hope that things are about to turn around and life will be in your favor. If you have a friend or loved one who has given up and is hiding from the world, and even if you feel that way yourself, bless this person with this blend. Watch his or her demeanor and change and their soul light up. So I'll just as brief as I can be to explain it. I'm just going to say the different oils that's in it and why the oil is in it. And if you're ever interested in learning how, and I'll put the little recipe in here too of what oils, if you ever wanted to make your own blend. We put it in a roller bottle with fractionated coconut oil. So I'm feeling like I need some hope. And just roll it right on. All right, so the oils that went in this, and again, if you don't have any of these oils and you're interested, feel free to let me know. I'll put some information so we can get in touch to talk about that, because I just love using the things that God gave us to naturally calm us. So the first oil is bergamot. Now, what bergamot? It's a citrus oil. The reason why it's included, it's supposed to bring you out of deep sadness. It is the oil that allows you to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then there's ginger. I do have ginger here. Ginger encourages you to be an active participant in your life. Ginger creates movement rather than sitting back and letting life pass you by. And then there's lemon. Lemon is a cleansing oil, which you probably expect that. And the reason why it's included in this blend, Out of the Darkness blend of hope, is because it purifies thoughts that do not contribute to your well-being. And lemon brings clarity so you can see what is truth and what are lies. Peppermint. Peppermint's very invigorating oil, so it gets rid of the cobwebs in the head. In a Chinese medicine, peppermint is used to open the mind and move stagnant energy. Its purpose here is to shift the way you view the world, to see hope rather than darkness. Juniper berry is an oil that is used and is an excellent source of expelling fears. Whether it's a fear of your power, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of rejection, whenever you are fearful of anything, juniper berry is the essential oil of choice. And then there's frankincense. Frankincense oil brings awareness to the lies you've lived by so that you can release them. Some of these lies include, I'm not good enough. We've all felt that way at one point. I'm not smart enough. I'm a nobody. Frankincense will help you see your beauty and your value in the world. Now there's eucalyptus. Eucalyptus will encourage you to reject the idea of giving up and hiding so you can take seriously your self-care and make the necessary steps towards your healing journey. Clary sage. Clary sage helps, it's an oil of clarity too, so it provides better visions of yourself. Clary sage will also shed light on your highest gifts as well, because guess what? You have a divine purpose and an eternal purpose. That's what God says. Once those are understood, your desire to live in your divine purpose will increase. It is a lack of clarity and not knowing your purpose that can lead you to a dark space. And that is truth, isn't it, right? When you don't know where you're supposed to go, the next direction, or what your purpose is in something, it can be very depressing and it can be very discouraging. And I'll be honest, is that, I'm trying to figure out new steps for my business, and ask God for his clarity. And it can be sad sometimes because you're like, I don't know, is this right? And then running to him to know that he will give clarity. But hey, clary sage helps. And then there's ylang ylang. Oh, a beautiful one. Ylang ylang helps to connect the mind and the heart, so they're operating as one. Western culture tends to live in the mind and forgets what the heart feels. The connection of the heart and the mind will result you in living in flow and operating in a more connected way. And it's actually the oil of the inner child. And I remember when I first got this oil, I just felt like really happy, and I just kept using it over and over. And that kind of just goes to show you that these oils really do change your mood and can change and shift your thoughts. And then the last one is white fir. We only had Douglas fir, and I only had a sample of it, but it's very similar. But white fir inspires you to break free from destructive patterns so that you can live your authentic self. And they have very low vibration and keep you. Stuff like addictions or anything that you really feel like in bondage to can keep you in that dark space. And so this oil is the oil of hope. It includes all of those oils at different quantities, and already making it and smelling it and taking the time to reflect. And especially if you are a believer, it is something that just can get you to that place where you're with God and he can speak truth over your life and bring you hope, right? So that's that blend. And, they're again, those oils, you make that blend together. But I'll post a blog post here, too, that had some other oils that kind of related to anxiety. But just know that these oils can help shift your mood. And now, it's not to say you should deal with the root issue always. I'm not saying anything can deal with the deeper work. Anything can take away the deeper work. But it's nice to have these tools at our hand when we are feeling that we need some peace and some rest and some just hope again, right? So if you're interested in learning more about essential oils for anxiety, about essential oils for kind of any mood actually, or anything, please let me know. I am going to post some information on here so you can kind of just see it and get in contact with me, and feel free to just leave a comment here and let me know. But yeah, we'll be having some other classes in May, some live and some online classes. We're having an online class in Essential Oils 101. That's going to be Facebook class, so it's not going to really be live, but you can kind of go through it for up to 3 days, and that starts Tuesday. Then we're going to be having a do-it-yourself cleaning class. That one's going to be live on the 13th of May. And the 16th of May, we're having Cleanse and Detox class live. And then the day after, if you want to look at it online, you can. And then the last class of the month is going to be a spa class. Ladies, it's your month. And then hopefully next month, just a little sneak peek, we're going to focus on the men. All right? So look out for that. And there'll be some nice little prizes this month in May and in June, right? So let me know if you're interested. Thanks for whoever stayed on to watch. I know some people came in and out, and it's nice to not, be talking to myself. Thanks again for listening. I'm so grateful for you guys. And trust me, if you're interested, I don't just talk about these for the sake of talking about these. Like, I truly believe in these oils, and they've changed my life and the way I care for my health overall altogether. All right, thanks so much. Oh, Stacia, good for you to join. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, guys, and I'll put some links here for you so you can do a little more follow-up into this topic of how essential oils and just natural things can help you with anxiety. All right, have a great evening, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.